Good morning, church.
Morning.
My name is Juanita Scott, and I have been granted the honor this morning of being your narrator and moderator as we present to you the story of David and Saul in an effort to explain our theme, as we delve into our theme of delay and destiny. Just to give an outline of the proceedings, we'll have a presentation which I'm sure you will enjoy, and then we will have a panel discussion. Once the panel discussion is over, then the floor will be open and you will be invited to present your questions. So, of delays and destiny. This theme speaks to the puzzling phenomenon that sometimes there is a longer than desired wait for our destiny to become a reality. What is that thing that you have been praying for a long time, and the answer has not yet come? That thing that you were promised or worked hard for, the promotion, the job, the ring, none of it outside the will of God, but somehow circumstances or someone or something keep getting in between you and your perceived destiny. As a child of God, how do you respond when your destiny is delayed? Do you think that God needs a little help from you? So you devise ways to engineer your desired outcome with no regard for whether or not these actions line up with God's expectations of us. Perhaps you become disillusioned and vexed with God, and you give in to the voice in your head that tells you, fire the faith, and done with that. Because you believe that contrary to Hebrews 10:23, God is somehow slack concerning his promises, and he is not hearing you. How do you relate to that person who is standing in your way? Do you stop speaking to them or treat them badly and try to undermine them? Or shocker, you are as nice as you can be to that person because you recognize that in all things and in every way, your behavior must bring glory to God. This dilemma is universal, and anyone, regardless of gender, age, or social status, can find themselves in such a situation and having to make a decision about how to respond. Through the grapevine, we learned that something is happening at the Better Life Junior Academy. Let's go and see what is unfolding there.
Hello, what is going on here? This is Mr. Ali's class. I came out here to sit with you while he is talking with a parent in the office, and I find all of this ruckus. Now everybody sit down and keep quiet. Now I want somebody to tell me what happened here. Look, everybody shut up, man. Tamara, tell me what happened, please.
Okay, ma'am. I wasn't here when it happened. I was buying tambourine balls, but Terrence said that he heard from Chloe that...
Okay, stop. Your misinformation is too much long talk, and that can't hold up in a court of law. Jordan, did you see what happened?
Yes, ma'am. But
what?
But I'm a snitch.
Seriously, boy? This is a classroom, not a cartel. Now tell me what happened.
Snitches get stitches, ma'am. I ain't saying nothing.
Can somebody who was here tell me what happened?
Ma'am, I tell you, everybody had to bring in projects for science, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had our project set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the bathroom to come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I come back, Nai had Zara project on the ground, and she was stomping on it over and over. And the magnifying glass and everything broke up.
Oh, all right.
So I run and tell Zara, and she come in and push Nai on the ground and start to beat she with she bag, and then that's when you came in, ma'am. Ma'am, it's Nai fault.
Yes, ma'am, it's she fault. And it ain't done there. Wait till school done.
Okay, I see what's going on here. And while we wait for Mr. Aline, I will take this opportunity to tell you a story. Actually, a Bible story.
Ma'am, my mother told me to say that she does not appreciate any teachers talking about the Bible in class.
Tell your mother that I say that if she has a problem with me talking about the Bible in my school, she can bring her 5'1" self up here and come and fight me. Until then, I will talk about whatever I please. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, I was about to give you some much needed Bible education. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 24 is the story about King Saul and David, who God had anointed to become king at some time in the future.
Ma'am, if the book named Samuel, why it about David and the other man and not Samuel?
Because Samuel is the person who wrote the book. Now, in this story, King Saul had taken 3,000 men and he was hunting David to kill him in the wilderness.
Ma'am, why the king was hunting David?
Saul had been trying to kill David for some time now because he was jealous of how the people in the kingdom loved David more than they loved him. And he knew that David was already anointed to become king, and he didn't want that to happen. And also, people were telling Saul that David wanted to kill him, and that was making Saul a bit paranoid. One day, during his long pursuit of David, Saul went into a cave, but there was something deeper inside the cave. What do you think was inside the cave?
A mongoose.
A what? Look, don't be a puppet. No, it wasn't a mongoose. David and his men were in the cave. David's men reminded him that the Lord had said that he would deliver Saul into David's hands to do whatever he wanted with Saul. So David snuck up on King Saul and cut off a piece of the bottom of the king's robe.
He only cut off the robe. Why would I kill him because he was trying to kill me? I never was going to be king anyway, and I was already anointed. I would have killed him so that I could be king.
Well, you see, David had no quarrel with Saul, and he respected the fact that Saul was the king who was put in place by God, and he would not attack the Lord's anointed. He even felt bad for cutting off the piece of the robe, even though it was harmless. David actually showed Saul the piece of the robe he cut off, and he told Saul that he could have killed him, but he didn't want to. But more importantly, David believed that he was going to become king in God's time, so he didn't need to take matters into his own hands. Because of David's actions, King Saul had to admit that David was a better man than he was, because he would surely have killed David if he had the chance. Finally, King Saul resigned himself to the fact that David would become king one day, and he begged him not to kill all of his children after he became king. After David promised Saul that he wouldn't harm Saul's children, Saul went home. Zara, Nai, come here, please. Zara, you go first. Tell me what happened.
I was outside town with some of my friends, and then Chloe come running to me and tell me that Nai was jumping up and down on my project. I worked on that for 2 weeks. And she come with she fast self and mash it up for no reason.
Okay, that's your side of the story. What do you have to say for yourself, Nai?
Ma'am, we have presentations to do, and I was supposed to go first. We had a quiz to see who would get to go first, and I did the best, so I was supposed to go first. But when I come in, I see Zara had her project set up in the space to go first, and I take that as disrespect, so I teach she a lesson.
Nobody ain't trouble you. Sir said that I could go first.
You is a liar. I was supposed to go first.
Nai, you had your chance to talk. Let Zara talk now.
Ma'am, yes, I set up my project to go first, but Mr. Ali said I could go first because I have to go to a funeral today. We burying my grandmother, and I have to leave school early.
Okay, so you had permission to set up first.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about that, Nai?
I didn't know she had to leave to go to a funeral. Zara, I'm sorry for mashing up your project, but you should have said you had permission to go first.
I tried, but I couldn't find you.
All right, now that you two young ladies have sorted this out and you understand each other, perhaps we can all go back to behaving like civilized people. And to Nai, and to everyone else really, if you have been assigned to do something, it doesn't matter when you get the chance to do it, your time will come. David eventually became king because God told him that he would. And Nai, you will still get your chance to do your project, even if it isn't in the time you preferred. Understand? All right, everyone. To take your minds off all this mess, today I am going to buy lunch for the entire class. Everyone gets a cheese cutter.
Mom, no, Mom. Them just use old cheese and they sing it to the toilet.
It tastes very good to me. I have one nearly every morning for breakfast.